We're coming to you from the Radford Studio Center lot in Studio City, right over the hill from Hollywood. This is the place where dreams are made, legends are born. Hello and welcome to The Lot. I'm Suzanne Marquez. There's a new lady of late night, and she's also on Paramount Plus. Stand-up comedian Taylor Tomlinson hosts After Midnight on CBS. She has millions of followers on TikTok, and her new show is all about social media. She's taken over James Corden's old spot right after The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, making smart jokes about the dumbest things on the internet.
Every guy I've ever dated has told me I have trust issues, which is something liars say when you're onto them.
Taylor Tomlinson is having an incredible year. This is from her third stand-up special, Look at Me Now, for Netflix. She just presented the Emmy for scripted variety series with Stephen Colbert.
This is your first Emmys. I gotta ask, how are you feeling?
Oh, amazing. I love knowing that Gen Z is absolutely destroying me online right now.
Colbert is executive producer of her new CBS show, After Midnight, which follows The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. She says he has taken her under his wing.
I told you not to read the comments.
You're not my dad.
When you meet your heroes, you just want them to be exactly the way you think they're going to be on TV and in real life. And like he is, he's just exactly how you expect him to be. He's so lovely.
But they have different approaches to comedy.
I'm not a particularly political or, sort of observant comedian. I think my comedy generally stems from just whatever's going on in my life. I had a guy on OkCupid send me an emoji as an opening line. Not a cute one, not like a heart or a kissy face or even an eggplant, which is gross, but I get it. He sent me one of these.
After Midnight, like her stand-up, is mostly scripted.
This is the cruise ship of the future. So comedians, what brand new disease will it introduce to the world? Kurt.
Scuba diveria. Why do I feel like most of the diseases spread on here are mental illnesses?
It's going to be some like improv and playing around and banter and that like talk show aspect, of course. But I mean, for the most part, like these are jokes. These are like the smartest jokes about the dumbest things on the internet.
This is Velveeta cheese. I'm gonna wrap the beef around this.
Aparna.
I don't know what it's called, but I think it counts as pornography in Wisconsin.
Now she's the only woman in a sea of male late-night hosts on TV. So what would she tell aspiring young comics in her hometown of Temecula?
I'd say get out of Temecula. That would be my first piece of advice. And then, especially if you want to be a stand-up comedian, or really any type of comedian, you just got to get up and do it. As somebody who struggled with a lot of stage fright as a teenager when I was getting started, like, you just have to learn how to push through it.
I'm Taylor Tomlinson, and this has been After Midnight. Good night.
It's on weeknights. Meanwhile, the 75th Emmys were a heartwarming tribute to television. It began with an appearance by Christina Applegate that brought the audience to their feet.
You're totally shaming me with disability by standing up. It's fine. Okay. Body, not by Ozempic. Okay, let's go.
Christina Applegate is currently battling multiple sclerosis. She listed some of her most notable roles throughout the years, including playing Kelly Bundy in Married with Children and Samantha in Samantha Who. She was nominated for playing Jen Harding in Dead to Me. She lost to Quinta Brunson and will have her speech in a moment. First, another inspirational moment of the night when Niecy Nash won.
And you know who I want to thank? I want to thank me. Believing in me and doing what they said I could not do. And I want to say to myself in front of all you beautiful people, go on, girl, with your bad self. You did that.
She sure did. She won Best Supporting Actress for her performance as Glenda Cleveland in Dahmer, Monster, the Jeffrey Dahmer story. Backstage, she said she's the only one who knows what this cost her, how many nights she cried because she couldn't be seen for a certain type of role. She also dedicated her award to every black and brown woman who has gone unheard, yet over-policed. Comedy legend Carol Burnett took the stage to present the Best Comedy Actress Award.
I was lucky enough to be the first female host of a comedy variety show from 1967 to 1978, 11 years, and that was a long time ago. And I just want to say that a lot has changed in the last 46 years for the better. Progress has been made, and it truly warms my heart to see how well men are doing in comedy now.
Leave it to Carol Burnett to have the perfect punchline. The Trailblazer won 25 Emmys with The Carol Burnett Show, a Peabody and a Golden Globe. And it was a touching moment when she presented the Emmy to another show-running actress.
Oh, man. Wow. Thank you so much. I don't even know, I'm so emotional. I think like the Carol Burnett of it all.
Abbott Elementary star and show creator Quinta Brunson is only the second Black actress to win an Emmy for Best Actress in a Comedy. And it's been more than 40 years since the first. Isabel Sanford won in 1981 for her role as Louise Wheezy Jefferson on The Jeffersons. The Tony Award-winning MJ the Musical is on stage at the Pantages Theater in Hollywood through the end of January, centered around the making of Michael Jackson's 1992 Dangerous World Tour. And it takes you on a journey through his life. I got to go backstage and try my hand at some of the choreography. Let's see how it went. Smooth Criminal is one of Michael Jackson's most celebrated music videos and a highlight of MJ the Musical on stage at the Pantages Theater in Hollywood. Is it challenging as a dancer just to learn Michael's moves?
It's very, very challenging because, you know, Michael, he did a really good job. He was a student, first of all, you know, and he did a really good job of studying all the greats and everyone. You know, he studied street dance, hip hop, ballet.
The moves are intricate. The dancers make it look easy and effortless. That's because the show was created by a director-choreographer trained by the Royal Ballet. Tell me what it's like when you experience the musical backstage, but also in-house.
Incredible. I mean, we're going on month 6 and I still don't get old. I bop around backstage singing all the songs, dancing on the moves.
The way the show is created is very whimsical by nature. The transitions are so smooth.
Speaking of smooth, they offered to teach me some of the moves from Smooth Criminal. I have a few years of dancing under my belt from my teenage years, so learning 1/8 count should be a piece of cake, right? I was wrong. Just one count behind. Rehearsals were okay.
Hips. Clap. Smooth. You're going to the show tonight.
Tonight, in the show tonight.
But matching the moves to the music, oh boy. Woo! Now have a look at the pros of MJ the Musical in action. I'm glad we're ending with the pros because I was practicing during that story. I don't have it. It's gone. That's why you want to watch MJ the Musical. It's touring the country. Just go to mjthemusical.com. You can find shows and dates near you. When we come back, Ava DuVernay's latest movie, Origin, just opened in theaters. We're talking to one of the stars when the lot returns.
Ihren Bibliotheksausweis?
Guten Tag. Natürlich.
Und Ihren Pass bitte.
Können Sie uns sagen, wann Erik Maria Remarques im Messer nichts Neues wieder zurück ist?
That was an intense scene from Ava DuVernay's latest movie, Origin, and I am so excited to announce that we are joined by Isha Blaaker, who is in that scene. Isha, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Suzanne.
So you play a historical figure. Can you tell me who your role is in Origin?
I play Dr. Allison Davis, who is a famous Black American scholar who went undercover in the Deep South to study race relations around the 30s. And he, together with his team and his wife, wrote a research book, and that inspired the likes of MLK, Malcolm X, and the person who this movie is based on, Isabel Wilkerson.
Which is incredible, because I bought that book, I bought the other book, Cast, which Ava based her movie on. It's incredible how much this movie opens your eyes to history and what has driven so much hate around the world over generations. Were these kinds of concepts new to you?
Not all of them. The one about the Indians was quite new to me, and it was eye-opening. And the relations between the two and the three, or actually all of the concepts all over the world, how it's all connected, and how everybody in some way or form is liable to participate in caste systems and racism.
Yeah, it's incredible. I remember just Googling and reading about how Dr. King went to India and was introduced as an untouchable, and it took him back, because it's like, whoa, I'm basically perceived as an untouchable in America. It has you looking at history a completely different way. It's not just racism, but also the casteism system that drives the whole world.
Yeah, yeah, I can only say I agree. And the beautiful thing is that Ava's storytelling just augments all of that. It's just, I was just watching the scene again, and I was just thinking, oh my God, it's such beautiful storytelling. And I think everybody should see this, especially everybody in America.
Absolutely.
Because it shows you how things are comparable to the rest of the world.
You're right. And Ava was told she couldn't make this into a movie because the concept was too tough, but she did it so beautifully, where we fall in love with everybody who is in it. What was it like working with this incredible filmmaker?
Oh, she's phenomenal. Every shot, she comes up close and grabs your arm and gives you, you know, some advice or some how do you call it, some pointers. And there was so much freedom, so much background research. Everything was provided. I wouldn't want to work on any other project in any different way. This was absolutely mind-blowing as an actor to be a part of, and to be able to work on with everything she gave us.
Absolutely. I want everybody to see this. Like you said, everybody in America needs to see it, because it just has us looking at our history in a different way, but even our current treatment of others as a people.
Yeah, this literally happens all over the world. I could name so many countries, America also being one of them, sadly, that this is happening right now. There are scenes in that movie that are happening right now. Everywhere in America, India, other places. It's sad, and it's almost, if you don't do anything about it, you're in a way complicit. And that's sad and hard sometimes. Hard pill to swallow.
It is, but the way the movie conveys that is, I feel like hopefully people walk out of the theater filled with kindness and compassion for others.
I don't know. I've seen the movie twice now, and everybody is always in tears. So I think that's the first thing that happens.
Yeah.
I think the second thing is this awakening of you know, the society that you're a part of. And then hopefully after that, you know, there's this change that starts, and you can be a better person and make a better society.
So beautifully put. Isha, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much, Suzanne.
Origin is in theaters now. Do not miss it. Okay, now we're going to switch gears to another movie, also in theaters, with movie critic Gare Drake. Now, first of all, I know you've seen Origin as well. I'm not underselling it, am I?
Not even a little bit. I have thought about that movie ever since I saw it. It really taught me a lot, and he was right about the crying.
Yes, okay. I think I just went straight from loving the movie, feeling upset, to activism.
Yep. Best case scenario, that's exactly what you do. I'm with you. I'm behind you.
Great. Okay, now there's another fun movie. After you see really intense, heavy origin, there's a fun one.
Right. So if you want to take a deep breath and you want to watch people falling in love, Which Brings Me to You is in theaters now. So this one stars Nat Wolff from Paper Towns and Lucy Hale from Pretty Little Liars. And they decide that instead of engaging in the physical part of their relationship, instead what they're going to do is just talk to each other. And they're going to unload everything that they've ever done wrong in their previous relationships.
Which I think is so fun because most of us want to leave the past in the past.
Right. And they decide not to. And so I actually was kind of fascinated by it. I think everybody should be doing this. And watching these two do it is really interesting because it doesn't ever end up where I expected.
Ooh, I love that.
Yeah. So it got me in the mood for love.
Oh, I love that. And there's another movie that is on Paramount Plus that I have held near and dear to my heart for years. It's even referenced in other movies.
Uh-huh. And that is Juliette Binoche in Chocolat.
Go ahead. It's your favorite.
What makes you so sure?
Go on, taste it.
That's fantastic.
Oh, thanks. I have a knack for guessing.
It's good. Not my favorite.
Sorry?
So good. So steamy. You're right. We're turning things up.
Oh my goodness. I love this movie. It was so fun to revisit because Juliette Binoche's character opens a chocolate shop during Lent. Whoops.
Yes, and causes a storm with the locals, with the local priest.
Uh-huh.
But then, of course, is also whipping up love.
That's right. And she has a gift for knowing what's deep in someone's heart. And she sort of turns everyone on, so to speak, to what they're missing in their lives.
Yeah.
And that's why this one endures, I think, the test of time, because Juliette Binoche is also fantastic. But this is about, like, what's in your heart? What are you really here to do, right?
Yeah, purpose, passion. Love movies about that.
And, I mean, anything that gets me to eat more chocolate, I'm a fan of.
I was dying to know which chocolates everybody was eating. But I know it's symbolic. But still, I'm like, is it a dark chocolate, a light chocolate, a caramel?
Right. Give me the deets. Every deet.
Okay, another classic is on Paramount Plus.
Right, and I really had another good time revisiting this one because I'm in the mood for love. I guess it's it's a hop, skip, and a jump away from Valentine's Day, and Kate Hudson is up to no good in How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
Oh no!
Please, are we playing?
Oh no! Our love fern! It's dead.
No, honey, it's just sleeping.
You let it die. You gonna let us die? You should think about that.
I love this movie. I've seen it on TV 5 million times.
Oh my God, that's because it's like the finest example of what a romantic comedy should be, which is just nonsense.
Yes.
Okay? The premise of this movie is adorable, where her character Andy is writing an article about how to lose a guy, and simultaneously Matthew McConaughey's character Ben is trying to get a woman to fall in love with him. So they're at odds. It is insane on every level. I don't know how great it aged, to be honest, but it is so full of laughs, and they're like the two most charming people in the world. They're exactly who I want to see make out.
You're right. You're absolutely right. I do think some of the styles stand the test of time, but maybe that's because Gen Z is obsessed with our heyday.
And this is truly our heyday for sure.
Yes.
One of the greatest examples of a rom-com of all time.
It really is.
And even though I might not say that about this next one, it is Josh Hartnett and at his finest in 40 Days and 40 Nights.
It's very easy to confuse physical attraction with a real connection.
Yeah, sometimes you just can't tell.
Well, you can tell. You can tell by the kiss. You know, the other stuff, the sex, is he hot? Doesn't matter.
How do you know about me?
I don't. I don't even know if you can feel that.
I can feel that.
Is this against the rules?
I'll let you be the judge of that.
Ooh, chemistry.
Right? Okay, I haven't seen this one, but I did see Oppenheimer, and he has aged like a fine wine, okay?
Truly, could not be more different of a film. So in this one, Josh Hartnett is playing a young man who's so hung up on his ex, and it's ruining all his relationships, and he decides he needs to take the physical element out completely.
Okay.
For 40 days and 40 nights, and wouldn't you know, he runs into Shannon Sossaman, and they have a real connection, and he discovers how fulfilling that is and how wonderful it can make the physical part of a relationship. And I'm making it sound way classier than it actually is, because this movie is, again, ridiculous.
Oh,
But
okay. I
it's
can't wait.
Great performers, so it's worth a rewatch.
Okay, watching Paramount Plus this weekend. When we come back, I sit down with one of the stars from the Book of Clarence. You do not want to miss this one. She spent 7 seasons playing Vivian Viv Johnson on Without a Trace, but got her start in movies. I was thrilled to catch up with Marianne Jean-Baptiste, who is in The Book of Clarence in theaters now. English actress Marianne Jean-Baptiste was honored with a string of awards nominations for her role in the 1996 comedy drama Secrets and Lies.
I'm trying to locate a Cynthia Purley. Please.
She earned Best Supporting Actress nominations for the Oscar, Golden Globe, and BAFTA for her heartrending role as an adoptee searching for her birth mother.
I am still sort of like stopped by people who talk about what an impact it had on them, you know, people who were adopted, and it sort of gave them the encouragement or strength to go and search for their birth parents. So, I mean, it is quite a big movie.
Mom, one day I'm gonna get you out of here. I have a plan.
In her latest role in The Book of Clarence, she plays the role of a mother whose son Clarence is on his own life journey. He's down on his luck and broke, living in Jerusalem at the time of Jesus Christ. He looks to capitalize on the rise of the Messiah by claiming to be just as important, chasing a life of glory for himself.
Clarence, in spite of your selfish ways, there is a beautiful soul in there somewhere.
You know, she's kind of the one that just keeps him going, that's got faith in him, that keeps him like on the straight and narrow, if you like, as much as she can, you know, and just encourages him to have faith.
You've spoken about, you know, racism in the industry and how representation matters.
I mean, you know, I grew up with images of Jesus always being white, blonde hair, blue-eyed, and you kind of, you know, look and say, okay, coming from that side of the world, is that possible? Do you know what I mean? But we, you know, you grow up with it and you see this image, and I just think it's beautiful for kids to recognize themselves when they look on the big screen and see, I can do this, because there's evidence of it. You know, we were here in biblical times, you know, not just chained together, but, you know, actually merchants and philosophers and scholars. So I think it's great, but it's great for everyone.
I die before I give him up to Rome.
Then death it is. My congregation gon' operate like a corporation. I want my flowers and flower vases. I want carnations. I want begonias.
Somebody actually asked me at the premiere, you know, about the sets. And I said, well, actually, they were like cave dwellings.
I interviewed one of your co-stars, Babs, and he said it felt like you just get this sense of being so small when you think of how many generations have walked those streets.
Yeah, yeah, incredible. And so when you see horses and ass, you know, and goats and camels, you know, we brought some camels in and there were some camels walking around. I mean, it was amazing, a really magical experience, I'd have to say, for me.
If you'll be so kind to walk on water.
Damn.
So many great movies out right now. That's a wrap for this episode. Thanks for watching. I'm Suzanne Marquez. See you next week on The Lot.